Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here, and I was right. Craig of Strongman Motivation owes me 20 bucks, but that's no here or there. I didn't want to be right, but there's no new world record on the log press. If you watch my prediction video, I said that was going to happen just because a wooden log is a lot harder to press than a steel log. It's a lot harder to balance at the top, and if you watch all of Zydrunas Savickas' previous attempts, and his successful attempts at the world record, they tend to be just the top where it stabilizes is the hard part, and that's what happened here. I think the most weight ever pressed on a wooden log is about 221 kilos. Not entirely sure on that, but that's what I believe. So 230 would be a big jump. I think we still saw a lot of big presses. Going to run through that in a second here, but yeah, I saw, I posted the results, and I see a lot of the stuff on, Instagram and Facebook and wherever else I post these on Starting Strongman, where people are like, why did the athletes perform so poorly? The athletes did not perform poorly. The fans have just gotten spoiled, and their expectations are just sky high and a little unrealistic. I mean, I saw a poll that, Strongman Motivation put up in their Instagram stories, and 85% of the people thought that people were going to press more than 230 kilograms. Not just 230 kilograms, but more. You guys are a little optimistic out there. World records don't usually get broken by 30 plus kilos like Eddie Hall did the deadlift. They just get chipped away, and it's usually a big deal when they happen. They don't just get obliterated like that. So anyways, let's run through this. I found it interesting. The athletes started out at 175 kilos, which I think, everyone passed, everyone hit it. I mean, Mark Felix and Terry Hollins declined it. Then they jumped to 190, and Vitalis Lawless missed, along with Mateusz Kielkowski. Unfortunate for Kielkowski. I feel like his tricep injury, he's hit 200 kilos in the past, but he had a reattached tricep. We saw it give him problems at the Arnold, and it's obviously his pressing strength is still not 100%. So that's unfortunate. Then we jumped to 200, and the only one to miss out of that was Belsack. Everyone else looked strong at 200. And then 200 to 213. This is where we saw, Robert Oberst missed 200 as well, which is unfortunate. I think it was just a bad day for the big guy. Then we jumped to 213, and this is a big jump, and this is why, if you really want to see, you want to rank everyone, kind of 1 to 10 through 10 in the world, you want to let them pick their own jumps versus their own weights, because 213, that kind of weight has not been done by very many people in competition. Everyone sees these big training videos everywhere, but the log is a lift that you see. Very rarely does anyone super exceed their training in contest, it seems like, for a variety of reasons, it's a wooden log, there's shorter breaks in between, you don't get to time your rest as much, versus a metal log that most people use in training. We pretty much saw everyone drop out when the jump to 200 to 213. If other people were able to pick their attempts, maybe go 204, 205, you'd be able to kind of rank everyone a little bit more. But I think everyone just wanted to see the world record, so it wasn't that big deal. The biggest surprises of that was Hafthor Bjornsson is now one of the strongest pressers in the world. I remember for years, everyone would just go on and on about how he'd be unstoppable if he'd bring up his static strength. He just set the elephant bar deadlift record and just pressed 213 kilos on a log, which is a huge PR for Hafthor. So he's now one of the strongest men in the world and very, very good at everything else. So I think maybe now he is unstoppable, but we're going to stick to the log here. Eddie Hall also went. He took a long time kind of setting it up. I know, his foot's bothering him. He's injured to hell and back. He's got a bad foot, bad hip. He has that tricep injury from 2015 or so when he got that, 2014. But once he got it to his shoulders, it blasted right up. But what was really shocking is this really showed that Iron Bibby is for sure the real deal. From the grainy cell phone live stream I was able to see on Lawrence Chalet's Facebook, while I was, passenger in a car and going through bad reception, it looked like he pretty much strict pressed the thing. I mean, this guy's been doing strongman for what, like a year, maybe 2? I think he only touched Atlas stones, and he's huge. He's only 25. I think he's going to get a world record at some point. He might be the guy that can really push it past 230 just from his talent. I don't think he's not that seasoned of a strongman, and 213 has to be one of the biggest presses ever, and he probably could have hit 220. Halfcore decided, since he's going for the whole Europes, he has World's Strongest Man in 3 weeks. 213 was already a huge PR. He just said, no, I'm not even going to try 220. That was the highest one, the highest lift in, out of everyone who's competing at Europes. So there wasn't much of a reason for him to go any higher. He already got maximal points for the actual event, for the whole contest, and, he has a busy schedule. So he skipped that. Then Eddie Hall and Iron Bibby decided to skip 220 kilos as well and go straight to 230, which makes sense. They both hit world records. National records for their respective countries with the 213. So why not just go broke? 220 is going to take a lot out of each of them. I think both were good for it. The only thing that's interesting there, and I don't think anyone thought about this, is there was a good amount of money for whoever got first in the log press. So looking back, if I was Bibby, it was like $7,500 if you win the log, and I think 5 for second or so. So I would have maybe hit 220 and got that extra money, which now 3 people are going to split. And made Eddie go straight to 230. Would have probably been a good way to go. You get a little bit extra money that way. But anyways, they skipped it. Bibby looked like he struggled a little bit on the clean. He got it up. He was just having a little bit of problem with that much weight on his chest balancing, it looked like. Gave it a little push, and then it just wasn't there. Came back, tried it again, and just definitely wasn't there. Eddie had he got it. It just stabilized at the top and just wasn't quite there. Looked like he had 3 minutes for an attempt. That definitely wasn't regulation. Took a water break, talked to the crowd, went back and got real close. It was just about at lockout, and he just couldn't stabilize it. And again, that's always the problem at these these maximal world record weights on the log. It seems it's not their pressing strength. They're all strong enough to press it. If you put them seated down and made them press, I bet these guys could press, from a seated position in contest atmosphere, 250, maybe even 260 kilos on a log, Eddie wasn't training off blocks, push came to shove, but it's stabilizing that giant weight at the top. It's so much harder to stabilize at the top compared to a barbell or anything else, and he just didn't quite have it. Dumped behind his head, no, I don't think it went behind his head. And hopefully, he does a good job commentating at Worlds, and he's able to heal up and continue to get healthy. He's done some tremendous things in the sport in a relatively short amount of time, and he's truly brought it to another level. I know everyone's disappointed they didn't get to see a world record, but even just watching that little bit of a grainy Facebook Live video, I was pumped up. I knew the energy in the crowd must have been amazing, and it looked like a great show, and hopefully we see more of that in Strongman. For full updates and results, be sure to hit like, subscribe, share this with your friends, tell more people I'm doing these videos. One thing I want to mention is Lawrence Chalet put out awesome live events during this. He also has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put a card to go subscribe to his, because he's doing a lot of predictions, and I think it's really cool that someone of his caliber is given the time to give back to the sport that way and do that. And he really, most of the Europe's Strongest Man coverage and Log Lift World Championship that I got, that I'm basing this off of, was from him. So that's the least I could do on that end, but be sure also to like and subscribe to this channel and share it. That really helps get the word out. And for more information on strongman and up to the date news and results and training tips, go to startingstrongman.com. You can follow myself at LetKaleLift on all the social media, and go to store.startingstrongman.com to pick up my ebook, How to Train Strongman in a Regular Gym. You can sign up for online coaching, strongman programs. We sell all the latest, all the best kind of strongman gear for your training, figure 8 straps from, SBD equipment, Cerberus, Spud, a bunch of ebooks, Cube Method for Strongman, everything you need to train for strongman at store.startingstrongman.com.